My girlfriend dumped me to pursue my best friend. He shut her down in the most brutal way possible. I'm still processing what happened, but honestly, I'm not even mad anymore. Just relieved. Maybe Reddit can help me figure out if I handled this right. So some background first. I've been dating Nadia, 27, female, for about 2 years. She works in marketing, I'm in it. Pretty standard relationship. Dinners, Netflix, the occasional argument about whose turn it is to do dishes. Nothing crazy, just comfortable. My best friend Nico, 29, male, and I have been tight since middle school. He's been working in Toronto for the past 4 years, and we kept in touch through gaming sessions and the occasional visit. Last month, he moved back to the city after landing a senior position at a consulting firm. I was psyched. The two most important people in my life were finally going to meet properly. Here's the thing about Nico, dude's objectively good looking. Like annoyingly so. He's 62, works out religiously, dresses well, and has that effortless charisma some people are just born with. But more importantly, he's loyal as hell. We've been through everything together, and I've never once worried about him crossing any lines. So 2 weeks ago, I arranged for them to meet. We grabbed drinks at this downtown bar. I was excited, talking about old stories, showing Nadia the photos from our high school band days. Yes, we were that cliché. The whole time I noticed Nadia was different. Her laugh was higher pitched. She kept fixing her hair, and she was asking Nico a lot of questions. At first I thought she was just being friendly, making an effort, you know. I've told her about Nico a lot, that he's basically my brother, so I figured meeting him probably felt like meeting part of my family. But driving home, she was quieter than usual. Then out of nowhere, "Your friend is really impressive." "Yeah, Nico's great," I said. "No, I mean, he's really put together, successful, confident." I should have caught it then, but I just laughed it off. That's Nico for you. Over the next week, things got weird. Nadia started asking about him constantly. Where did he go to university? What exactly does he do at work? Does he have a girlfriend? Where does he work out? "Babe, why the sudden interest?" I finally asked. She shrugged. "Just curious about your friends." But it didn't stop. She'd bring him up at random times. We'd be watching a movie and she'd say, "I bet Nico would appreciate this film more." Or we'd be at dinner and she'd mention, "Nico probably knows good wine. He seems cultured." The comparison started getting more direct. "Nico dresses better than you. Nico has better posture. Nico seems like he'd be more emotionally mature." I'm not gonna lie, it stung. I knew Nico well enough to know he'd never go there. He's the kind of guy who still asks permission before posting photos with you in them. Boundaries are sacred to him. But Nadia's comments were really starting to get under my skin. Last Thursday, Nadia and I were having dinner at my place. She made another comment about how Nico carries himself with more presence than I do, and something in me just snapped, not with anger but with clarity. I put down my fork and looked at her. "Nadia, be honest with me. Do you have feelings for Nico?" She froze. "What? No, I'm just..." "Because if you're that impressed by him," I continued, keeping my voice steady, "maybe you should pursue him instead. I'm not going to keep you in a relationship where you're clearly not satisfied." I watched her face cycle through emotions, surprise, guilt, then something that looked almost like relief. "I mean," she started, then stopped. "Would you be okay with that?" My stomach dropped, but I kept my composure. "I'm not okay with it, but I'm not going to force someone to stay with me when they clearly want to be somewhere else." She sat there for a moment, then nodded slowly. "You're right, I think. I think we want different things. Nico is more the type of person I see myself with long term." The audacity was almost impressive. She hadn't even talked to Nico about this. She just assumed he'd be interested because. Why? Because she believed she was entitled to someone better. "All right then," I said, standing up. "I hope it works out for you." She looked almost surprised that I wasn't fighting for her. She grabbed her stuff and left within 20 minutes. After she was gone, I texted Nico, "Heads up. Nadia and I broke up. If she reaches out to you, ignore it. Don't let her drag you into drama." He replied almost immediately, "Bro, you know me." That was 5 days ago. I'm doing okay, honestly. Better than I thought I would be. I told a couple of friends what happened and they're split. Half think I should have fought harder to keep her. The other half think I dodged a bullet. But here's the thing, Nadia showed me exactly who she was. She looked at my best friend like an upgrade option at a car dealership. What was I supposed to fight for? Someone who sees relationships as stepping stones. I don't know, maybe I'm rationalizing. Maybe I should have confronted her differently. Reddit, did I handle this like a doormat or did I just save myself a lot of wasted time? Edit, holy crap, didn't expect this to blow up. Reading all your comments now. And yes, I'm fully aware Nico's not going to touch this situation with a 10-foot pole. That's not even a concern. Update 1 posted 6 days later. Well, that escalated. Thanks for all the support on my last post. Turns out I was right about Nadia and also right about Nico, but it's gotten messier than I expected. So after that initial text where I warned Nico, I figured that was the end of it. Nadia would move on, I'd move on, life continues. Wrong. Nico called me the next day. Dude, she already texted me. Are you serious? Yeah, she's really doing this. Said she wanted to talk about you but also get to know me better. I left her on read. I should mention that Nico's not just loyal, he's also extremely direct when he needs to be. He doesn't play games. If he's not interested, he makes it clear. So I wasn't worried about him leading her on. But Nadia apparently took his non-response as some kind of challenge. Over the next few days, Nico kept me updated. She'd liked about 15 of his Instagram posts in a row. Watched all his stories within seconds of him posting them. Sent him a photo of herself in work attire asking if it looked professional. Each time, Nico either ignored or responded with the driest possible answer. Does this look professional? She'd ask, sending a photo where she's clearly posing. It's fine, he'd reply. Then immediately text me the screenshot with, this is exhausting. By day 3, she'd somehow figured out his usual coffee spot and coincidentally showed up there. He saw her through the window, turned around, and went to a different cafe. She's treating you like a prize she's earned, I told him on the phone. More like a trophy she thinks she deserves, he corrected. It's weird, man. She's not even trying to get to know me as a person. She's just trying to get me as an accessory. Meanwhile, some of our mutual friends started reaching out to me. Apparently, Nadia had been telling people that she and I broke up because we wanted different things, and that she was exploring new connections. Not exactly lying, but definitely spinning it to make herself look less bad. A couple of people bought it. But my friend Derek, who'd hung out with us a few times, straight up told her, you checked out the moment you thought you found someone better. And the fact that it's his best friend, that's not exploring connections, that's disrespectful as hell. She apparently got defensive and said something about how you can't help who you're attracted to and Nico is more aligned with her life goals. Derek texted me, she's delusional, bro. Just thought you should know. The breaking point came last Saturday. Nico was at his gym and Nadia showed up at his gym. She'd apparently asked one of his Instagram followers where he worked out, someone who didn't know the situation, and innocently answered. She approached him between sets. Hey, didn't know you came here, she said, all smiles. I was on FaceTime with him in his car afterward. He told me everything that happened. She acted like we were old friends, asked if I wanted to grab a smoothie after. I told her I was busy. What'd she say? She said, you're always busy when I ask, like we had some kind of established relationship. I told her straight up, Nadia, I'm not interested, please stop. He said she looked shocked. Like she genuinely couldn't believe he'd reject her. But why? She'd asked him. Because you just broke up with my best friend to chase me, and that's concerning. She'd apparently turned red and left without another word. I guess I should have felt bad, but honestly, I couldn't help laughing out loud when I heard that. Nico acted completely nonchalant about it too, peak comedy. He just waited for me to finish laughing before saying, she should back off now. Later that night, I got a message from Nadia. First time she'd contacted me since the breakup. Did you tell Nico not to talk to me? I stared at the message for a solid minute before replying. I told him we broke up and to ignore drama. He's a grown man who makes his own choices. He's being really cold to me. You must have said something. Or maybe he's just not interested. You're sabotaging this because you're jealous. I actually laughed out loud. Nadia, he's not interested because you dumped his best friend to chase him. That's not jealousy. That's self-respect on his part, and loyalty too. Oh, I guess you wouldn't know what that means, though. She didn't respond after that. I told Nico about the exchange. He just sighed. She really thought I'd betray you for what? Someone I barely know who's already proven she's disloyal. Appreciate you, man. That's what brothers are for. So now we're here. Nadia's been noticeably quiet on social media. I'm doing fine, honestly better than fine. Nico has been dragging me to the gym more, and it's actually more enjoyable than I thought. A few people have asked if I'm angry at Nadia. Honestly, I'm not. I'm just indifferent. She revealed who she was, and I accepted it. Getting angry would mean I still care about her opinion of me, and I really don't. My only concern now is whether she's going to keep bothering Nico. He says he'll handle it, but the dude's too nice sometimes. I'm hoping she got the message and backs off. Edit. For those saying I should block her, already done. Nico has her muted but not blocked in case she sends something that crosses into harassment territory and we need records. Update 2, posted 9 days later. Alright Reddit, I promised I'd update if anything else happened. Well, something did happen. So after my last update, things were quiet for about a week. Nico said Nadia had stopped spamming him with likes and texts and hadn't shown up anywhere. I figured she'd finally gotten the hint and moved on. Maybe felt embarrassed enough to just drop it. Last Wednesday changed that. Nico and I decided to grab lunch at this cafe downtown, nothing fancy, just a place we used to hit up before he moved to Toronto. We were sitting there, talking about work and planning a camping trip when Nadia walked in. At first, I thought it was a genuine coincidence. Our city isn't that big and it's a popular spot. But then I saw her face when she spotted us. She didn't look surprised, she looked determined. She walked straight to our table. Hey, she said, looking directly at Nico, didn't even glance at me. Nico's expression didn't change. Nadia, can we talk privately? I started to stand up, figured I'd give them space to end this once and for all. But Nico put his hand up. Whatever you need to say, you can say it here. She glanced at me uncomfortably, then back at Nico. I feel like there's been a misunderstanding between us. I think we'd be really good together if you just give me a chance. The audacity. I was sitting right there and she was asking my best friend to date her like I wasn't even present. Nico leaned back in his chair. His voice was calm but cold. Nadia, there's no misunderstanding. I've been clear, I'm not interested. But why? She pressed. We have so much in common. We're both ambitious, we don't have anything in common, Nico interrupted. You don't even know me. You've created some fantasy version of me in your head based on what? The fact that I have a decent job and go to the gym, she blinked. That's not. You broke up with one of the best people I know to chase someone you've met like twice, he continued. That's not attraction, that's not connection. That's you treating people like transactions. Her face started turning red. A couple of people at nearby tables were definitely listening now. You think you're so perfect, she snapped, dropping the sweet tone. You're just like him, mediocre and careful, Nico said quietly. The shift in his tone made her stop mid-sentence. I've been polite, I've been patient, but I'm going to be very clear now so there's no confusion. He leaned forward slightly. What you're doing isn't flattering, it's embarrassing for you. You dumped a good man because you thought you could upgrade to his friend. You saw me as a status symbol, not a person. And when I didn't immediately fall at your feet, you started stalking me. I wasn't. You showed up at my gym. You found out where I get coffee. You've liked every social media post I've made for the past 2 weeks. That's not interest, that's obsession. The cafe had gotten noticeably quieter. Nadia was staring at him, her mouth slightly open. Here's the thing you don't seem to understand, Nico said. Loyalty matters to me, integrity matters to me, and you've demonstrated neither. So no, I'm not interested. I won't be interested tomorrow. I won't be interested next month. I won't be interested ever. He picked up his coffee cup. I think you should leave now. Nadia stood there for another few seconds, her face completely flushed. Then she walked out without another word. The cafe stayed quiet for a moment, then conversation slowly resumed. I just stared at Nico. Dude, he shrugged. She needed to hear it, should have said it earlier. We finished our lunch and honestly it felt like a weight had been lifted. Nico had drawn a line so clear that even Nadia couldn't misinterpret it. Later that evening, I got a text from a mutual friend, Jessica. "Holy shit, what happened at Morrison Cafe? Nadia just called me crying saying Nico humiliated her in public." I sent her the full story. Jessica replied, "Good. She's been telling people you two broke up mutually and that Nico was interested but timing wasn't right. She needed a reality check." Turns out Nadia had been spinning the narrative to make herself look better, telling people that Nico was interested but taking things slow out of respect for me, that we'd all probably be friends eventually. Complete fabrication. Jessica said she'd set the record straight with our friend group. I told her not to be cruel about it, but yeah, the truth needed to come out. Nico and I talked about it later that night over beers. "Think she'll finally back off?" I asked. "She doesn't have a choice now," he said. "I made it public enough that if she keeps trying, everyone will know she's harassing me." "You didn't have to do that, man." "Yeah, I did. She was disrespecting you and she was making me uncomfortable. Two birds, one very direct conversation." I clinked my beer against his. "Best friend of the freaking year," he laughed. "You do the same." Yeah, I really would. Since then, radio silence from Nadia. Her Instagram went private. She hasn't reached out to me or Nico. A couple of people from our extended friend group have quietly unfollowed her. I don't take pleasure in her embarrassment, but I do feel validated. She gambled that she could trade up and it backfired spectacularly. That's something she has to own up eventually. Final update posted 3 weeks later. Didn't think I'd be back, but here we are. Final update, and it's actually a good one. So after the cafe incident, Nadia went completely silent, blocked both me and Nico on everything. Our mutual friends said she'd been laying low, barely posting on social media, and declining invitations to group hangouts where she might run into us. I figured that was the end of it. She'd learned her lesson, moved on, and we'd all just peacefully exist in different circles. For about 2 weeks that seemed to be the case. Then last Friday I was out with some friends at a bar downtown. Different place than where Nadia and I used to go, but apparently not different enough. She was there with a guy I didn't recognize. They were at a table across the room, and at first I didn't even notice her. My friend nudged me. "Isn't that Nadia?" I glanced over. It was definitely her, but she looked different, not physically, but her whole energy was subdued. The guy she was with seemed nice enough, average-looking, casual clothes, nothing flashy. They were talking quietly, and she wasn't doing any of that performative laughing she used to do. "Good for her," I said, meaning it. If she'd found someone and was moving on, that was fine by me. But then about 20 minutes later, she got up to go to the bathroom and had to walk past our table. We made eye contact. She stopped. "Liam." "Nadia, hey," awkward silence. My friends had gone quiet, clearly waiting to see what would happen. Can I talk to you for a second?" I looked at my friends, then back at her. "Sure." We stepped outside to the patio area where it was quieter. She took a breath. "I owe you an apology." I wasn't expecting that. Okay. I was. God, I don't even know how to explain how stupid I was. I got caught up in this fantasy version of what I thought I wanted. I saw Nico and just convinced myself that he was this perfect upgrade, that I deserved something more exciting. She looked down at her hands. The whole thing with Nico wasn't even really about him. It was about me being shallow and insecure and thinking that dating someone more impressive looking would somehow make me more impressive. I didn't say anything, just let her talk. When he rejected me at that cafe, I felt humiliated. I was angry, furious actually. But then Jessica and the others too, they stopped beating around the bush and just threw reality straight in my face. What Nico said that day, he was right. About all of it. I did treat you like you weren't good enough. I treated him like a prize to win. I treated relationships like a status game. She wiped at her eyes. I'm not asking you to forgive me or be friends or anything. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. You deserved so much better than how I treated you. I stood there for a moment, processing. Part of me had imagined this conversation going differently, me being cold, her being defensive. But she just seemed tired and genuinely remorseful. "I appreciate you saying that," I finally said. "It sucked at the time, but honestly I'm glad it happened when it did rather than years down the line." She nodded. "For what it's worth, that guy in there, his name is Matt. We met through work. He's not flashy or particularly ambitious or any of the things I thought I needed, but he's kind. And he doesn't make me feel like I have to be someone I'm not. That's good, Nadia, I mean that. She smiled a little. You're still too nice. Nah, I'm just not angry anymore. We talked for a few more minutes, nothing deep, just small talk about work and how we'd been doing. It was civil, almost friendly. Before she went back inside, she paused. Is Nico here? No, he's visiting his parents this weekend. Good. I don't think I could face him yet, she laughed dryly. Maybe not ever. He's not holding a grudge, I said. He was just protecting his boundaries. He was right to tell him I'm sorry for putting him in that position. I will. She went back inside and I rejoined my friends. They immediately peppered me with questions. She apologized, I said simply. We're good. Well, not good, but peaceful. One of my friend actually raised his beer. Character growth, love to see it. I texted Nico later that night telling him about the conversation. He replied, glad she figured it out, takes guts to apologize like that. The next day Nico and I met up for our usual Sunday breakfast. He'd just gotten back from his parents' place and was in a good mood. So real talk, he said over pancakes. You doing okay? Like actually okay? Yeah, man. Better than okay. Good, because I was talking to my cousin last week. You remember Melissa? She's got a friend who just moved here for a teaching job. Her name is Rebecca. Melissa thought you two might hit it off. I raised an eyebrow. Are you trying to set me up? I'm creating opportunities. What you do with them is up to you. I laughed. All right, why not? We spent the rest of breakfast talking about his trip, work stuff, and planning that camping trip we'd been putting off. Everything felt normal. No drama, no tension, just two friends hanging out. As for Nadia, I saw her one more time after that, crossing the street downtown. We waved. She smiled. That was it. I don't hate her. I don't pine for her. I don't even think about her much anymore. She's just someone I used to date who taught me what I don't want in a relationship. I'm sleeping better, eating better, actually enjoying life instead of just going through the motions. Nico's still Nico, loyal, supportive, occasionally too honest for his own good. I'm good. Actually, I'm better than good. And I didn't need revenge or drama to get here. I just needed to let go and move forward. Thanks for following this weird journey, Reddit. You guys helped me see I wasn't crazy for handling things the way I did. Stay solid, everyone. Edit. To everyone asking about Rebecca, yes, we met. Hate to admit Nico was right. He'd get so smug and it's annoying as hell, but we actually clicked. We're taking things slow, but it's going well. She thinks the whole story is wild, but appreciates that I didn't turn into a bitter asshole over it. Edit 2. Nico says hi. He's reading over my shoulder and laughing at all the comments calling him a legend. His ego doesn't need this, guys. But seriously, thank you all for the support throughout this. This community came through when I needed perspective.